Hey everybody, welcome back to the Breaking Bad Insider podcast. We're here to talk about episode 413. I'm here with Vince Gilligan.
Hello.
Melissa Bernstein.
Hello.
Bill Pulaski.
Hello.
Tom Schnauz.
I'm not sure why I'm here, but I'm here.
Skip McDonald.
Hello.
And Andrew Ortner.
Hey there.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming in today. Talk about the finale episode of season 4. Let's go back and talk sort of near the beginning. You actually put your mom in the show this year.
My mom played Gus in this episode, and she did a fantastic job.
A couple scenes.
My mom is the nice lady who lives next door to Walt, and the unfortunate thing is the first airing of this episode will have my mom in it, and all subsequent episodes will not have my mom in it.
But it'll be on the DVD.
Yeah, and I'm not kidding. This episode was 3 minutes and 14 seconds over long.
Yep.
And Skip, who did a hell of a job as always editing it.
Thank you.
It was miserably hard for me personally to cut out the last getting all the time out was painful, but the last 3 minutes or so was miserable, and it finally dawned on us that the best thing to do is to lift out the scene of Walt calling up the neighbor lady, getting her to go check out the place. So in subsequent airings, we have to air it 2 times. So hopefully everyone will see the first airing with my mom, because that scene will be lifted out in subsequent airings. But it will then again be permanently available on the DVD in its longer form. So
Let me ask you this too, because your mom goes in the house, and then the guys come out of the backyard, and then Walt goes in, and he's going through the crawl space, and then he has to jump the fence and stuff like that. What about Brian's stunt work? I mean, is this Brian, or did he do all this?
Brian, he's great. He's tough.
Did he jump the fence and everything? That was him, right?
Yeah.
He earns those Emmys.
Yeah, he does. He had them piled on the other side. They're pointy with the wings when he landed on them. Yeah, that hurts. Just to make things tougher on himself. He's a method actor. Now he's tell him about that shot, the way that works.
Yeah, well, the shot when Brian crawls out from under the house and runs and jumps over the fence, we've actually used 2 different takes.
Oh, wow.
Because the take where he kind of just falls over the wall, he dropped the money, it took him a long time to get to the end, so we took the second take and the first one and combined them together.
Cool.
And we got really lucky because I don't know how he does it, but he hits the footsteps almost perfectly. Yeah. But then Andrew and Diane had to go in and do a little cleanup work for us.
Yeah.
But
So then we take that shot and work with visual effects, and we kind of marry them both, and they have to go in frame by frame and kind of paint some things out, kind of add some things just so it is the perfect blend, so it does feel like one continuous shot.
Why did you have to do it?
because we liked the way he went over the wall in the other take.
Oh, okay.
In other words, we didn't have to do it, but we liked the beginning. This is a oneer, what we call is all in one uninterrupted take, except it's not through the magic of editing and through the magic of post-production visual effects. It looks like one take, but we like the beginning of one take and we like the end of the other take. So
cool.
So I gets what I wants. No, I don't always, but it's nice when I do. Well, let's talk about how the face-off was effective.
So this is a big effort with production and post-production. Who brought in Bill on the visual effects side and K&B, Greg Nicotero and Howard Berger.
And those are the guys that do Walking Dead.
And who did episode 1 for us, the slitting of the throat.
Right.
Who did the ear in episode 4.
The Mike's ear when it gets shot off, or the tip of it. Yeah.
So it was absolutely a group effort.
It takes a large team to put together a shot like that, even though it plays very relatively simply as a one take, but it was like 7 visual effects artists putting that shot together.
Wow, it's awesome.
It's an incredible shot.
They did an amazing job. But thank you very much.
It is an incredible shot, and I love it. I got the greatest job in the world. I just make up crazy stuff. I was faced to blow off, and I want to do it in one take, and then I'd go grab a sandwich, and everybody else just hustles.
That's also what your conversation was like when you just popped into Diane's office.
Yeah.
I want to blow off his face, and I want to do it in one take, and then you just left. Who is it?
Discuss.
What happened?
Yeah. I was like, yeah, but.
And it was interesting that we came back from production, and that was actually one of the first things you were looking at. Very early on in the post process, you started looking at footage and giving notes. And that process went on, how long, Andrew?
A few months.
Months, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it was months. Like we said, it started back in January, but then once production wrapped, it was at least another 2 months after that. So I'd say all in all, 6-7 months of overall planning and then execution. It was quite the undertaking for a shot that probably only lasts 5-10 seconds.
Yeah.
The whole shot, it's actually probably longer than that. The whole shot, but yes, it was a lot of work for a relatively very short.
And that's not even the end of the episode.
That's
Exactly.
What?
That's pretty wild.
But this shot, I feel, will be one of the iconic shots. I
Yeah.
mean, just like what Bill and his crew did last year in episode 12 when Walt came in and ran over the two drug
yeah.
dealers. I mean, that's one of the shots I feel like everyone was talking about after the season ended. I feel like this shot as well will be one of those shots people will be talking about for quite some time.
Well, the thing that those two shots have in common was your direction that you can't cut away from the visual effects shot.
Right.
It has to be done in one take.
Yeah.
You know, the way that Hitchcock used to put visual effects shots together.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it more complex. But then I also think that makes it more organic to the quality of the show, as opposed to cutting away for the visual effects shots.
Which really isn't done in television. I mean, and it's you don't really see that much anywhere. It's always cut, just to be able to get those effects across.
Well, it's what bothers me about visual effects shot when it's an obvious visual effects shot, because they're changing the structure of how the film's put together. And the two things that are organic to the show is the editing, the pace of the show, and also Michael's cinematography. And what you don't want to do is have the visual effects dictate how those two things are being done. So we have to adapt our techniques to the style of the show.
Well, and I appreciate you guys being so artful about it, and also we're lucky again. We're lucky to have the lead time to be able to do these kind of things, because most TV shows that do it a different way, a more staccato way, or close up this, close up that. It's not for lack of art or artistry very often. It's just that's the way you have to accomplish it if you don't have the time that we have in this case. So we're lucky to have all that lead time. I mean, just Skip, picking that, we did 19 takes. I did, and I was driving everybody nuts. I did 19 takes of just the bit of Gus walking out in profile and then us coming around. And I'm proud to say, at least, it was insane to do 19 takes. I shouldn't have done any more than 6 or 7, and even that would have been on the high end of takes for what we do for a TV show.
Yes.
But 19 was like Kubrickian insane. But I am proud to say, at least, we did actually use the 19th take. So it would have been criminal to have used the take 1.
That's right.
Yeah, we did use take 19. Although you and I looked at it for like an hour
We
trying to
looked
figure
at
out.
like 3 or 4 different choices for quite a while before
did.
we finally settled on 19.
It was like a showdown. Because remember, it was like okay, let's see number 10 again.
Yeah.
Okay, 10 versus 19. Okay, 12 versus 19.
It was like a cage match of takes.
Two
Better
takes
or
enter.
worse.
One.
Better or worse.
And Giancarlo, that he was able to deliver in 19 takes in a
Never
row.
complained once either, because he had to come out with all this shit on his face and then fall down over and over and over again, land on his knees, which hurts, even though we had a pad for him under.
Anything you can give us about what's gonna happen next?
We got 16 more episodes. We got 16 more, and then it's all
That's all over.
and
Be a
that's all she
sad,
wrote.
sad day.
But Walt's at a, well, I don't know. Where's Walt at now? Walt
Walt's a dick right now. That's where he's at.
There's so many things that Walt has done to Jesse that Jesse doesn't know about.
I don't know. Maybe it sounds kind of like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. At the end of the day, the kid was not poisoned with actual ricin. It was Lily Valley,
Yeah,
which
it's
is.
a little, near-death experience.
But I'm
Pay
thinking,
no attention to it.
no, it's absolutely shameful and reprehensible that he poisoned a child. But
At least he didn't. He knew he was. He knew he probably was not going to die.
yeah, he just
Probably.
probably
Yeah.
most
He was
likely.
going to get very, very
But you're
sick.
turning him into Scarface. Scarface isn't really a nice guy, is he?
Actually, he's gone beyond Scarface.
Yeah,
And
because
as-
Scarface shot Mark Margolis for not wanting to blow up kids in the car.
That's right. Mark Margolis, our Tio in Scarface, is the guy that Al Pacino's character shoots rather than let him kill a kid, or 2 kids in that case. So
Are you
yeah,
saying Walt is worse than Scarface?
I think there's a real solid argument could be made. Although I don't think, also, you saw how relieved he was that the kid was going to live.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's some humanity
Massive
left.
gamble.
But I'm not saying he's a good guy. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I think there's got to be some shred of humanity left on him. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in the last 16. I don't think we know yet. We'll feel our way through it like we always do.
Sure you don't. Need to wrap it up. Thank you, Vince, Bill,
Thanks,
Melissa, Tom, Skip, Andrew, and also thank you as always to our support crew, our PAs Jen and Trevor, and business assistant Gordon for helping us out and coming in on the weekends. Michelle McLaren.
Michelle's behind the
you.
camera back there. Thank you, Michelle, coming in.
Thank you to everybody.
And thank you, Kelly, for a great
you,
13
Kelly.
great
Kelly.
podcasts.
All right, everybody, let's go break bad. But don't break too bad. Stay alive for the next 16.